We hope that we'll have a consensus, but once that doesn't happen, we'll have to go for elections.
Before I come back to you, Dr. Nwilagi, let me just quickly ask you, we heard that there was going to be a kind of an understanding that in view of some of these key positions between the governors, the APC governors and the presidency, that they would come out with a joint position on whether or not current members of the NWC will be able to essentially emerge from this convention. Has there been a definitive conclusion on whether or not any of the NWC members will be able to emerge given the consensus arrangement that's playing out right now?
That will be undemocratic. The president simply refuses to accept any situation where positions or people will be predetermined for positions before elections, because there will be no need for a convention in the first place if that's the case. The president insisted that there must be proper compliance to the procedure that is laid down by the Constitution in terms of election. Consensus, like I said, is highly encouraged. It should be pushed. The leaders should come together and sit down and agree. But if that doesn't happen, if there's one person, because consensus is when everybody agrees. If there's one person that said, no, I have bought my form, I want to contest, he must be allowed to contest. That has been the position of the president. So there cannot be a predetermined position before convention. That will be hypocrisy, and the president simply wouldn't allow it.
Dr. Nwilagi, you of course are a stakeholder in the Rivers State chapter of the All Progressives Congress, where we have seen a lot of back and forth over the last few weeks and months. Now, there's a question around the delegation from Rivers State that is going to attend tomorrow's convention, whether or not it should be statutory delegates, being those that were previously or currently elected in the platform of the APC, or the actual delegation that is being brought up by a faction of the party that was sworn in by National Chairman John Oyegun, being led by, of course, Ojukaye Flag Amatri. How do you see that playing out? And based on your reading of the litigation as it stands today, should there be a delegation from River State attending and voting at the National Convention tomorrow?
If you ask my personal opinion, Algeria, I would say allow the statutory delegates attend this convention. We don't want something that is controversial, that will dent our convention. For instance, there was a ruling yesterday. I wasn't there. But this is something that was shrouded in controversy. Different parties reading it the way they feel, as it suits them. So how best do we go about it? Allow the statutory delegates attend this convention until the courts are ready to resolve the issues entirely. If you do so, you'll be saving the entire country and the entire party from unnecessary litigation, acrimony. So the statutory delegates are there. They've not been bad. And so they should be encouraged. In as much as I know that the hierarchy of our party and even the convention membership, though they know that there are lawyers there, there are sons there. If they have gotten copies of the judgments, particularly in Rivers State, they can study it critically and look at it dispassionately in such a way that we will convinced as a party that it is not going to rub negatively on the outcome of our convention.
So in your mind, in your view, if the EXCO led by Flag Amatri is allowed to attend the convention, you believe that if the courts overrule that arrangement, that could essentially undermine the legitimacy of whoever emerges at the convention?
I'm a lawyer, and I think I'm not a lawyer, but I think really so that if these things are still shrouded in controversy, as a standing court issues around them, and then if you allow them come in, my worry, like I said, I'm not a lawyer, but my worry is that it may impinge on the credibility of the election or the outcome of that convention, and that may not augur well. So what is the safe way out? The safe way out is allow the statutory delegates to attend until all the issues surrounding not just Rivers State, but all other states are resolved. You know the issues surrounding swearing in and accrediting those congresses that were shrouded in controversy are still subjects of litigation, like you know. And in Nigeria, government, this particular government, respects the rule of law. And as the holders of the mandate of our people, we will not be part of those who will now go against the legitimacy of the law. So, and that's why we are saying that as a party, we should insist on allowing the statutory delegates to attend, to be on the safe side. But whatever the Convention Planning Committee says will be what we all uphold. Because, like I said, there are seasoned lawyers, senior advocates of Nigeria that are manning this convention. So we have no doubt that we'll be able to resolve them.
Mr. Ahmed, we've heard from Comrade Adams Oshomole concerning his kind of mission or vision, if you will, for your party. He has said that he is ready to make your party a united party by deploying the art of negotiation learned in the throes of his experience in the labor unions. Do you believe, I know you're a member of the planning committee, but given that it's an unopposed position currently at the moment, do you believe that this is attainable, that this is achievable, that a man can come in and heal all these wounds that we've seen in the party?
Absolutely. I think it is. I think once you deploy serious and transparent and honest leadership at the top, and you consult and you negotiate with people, these are things that are achievable. There's no doubt about it that the party has been, the current leadership of the party has done well, because this is the first opposition party that came into ruling, into a governing party. We won an election at the federal level. The former leadership of the leadership of the party currently as is, won 23 states for the party, won majority in the National Assembly, won the presidency. We have most of the state's House of Assembly. That is no mean feat by any standard. It has never happened. In fact, it is absolutely unprecedented in history. So they have done well. But, as time goes on, through the last 4 years, we've had serious issues within the party that needs a lot, because there were building blocks that came together to form this party. Like, for example, you introduced him as former chairman of Congress for Progressive Change. I'm also a member of the CPC from Kano. And then there was the AMPP, and then there was ACN. Those are the two, and then there's part of APGA that came together as well, led by Rocha Sokorocha. And then later we had, the breakaway faction from the PDP. So those are all building blocks that believed that they had a hand in bringing this government to fruition. The next leadership of this party would have, if nothing else, a very serious task of not only uniting the party, but clearly defining a vision, which I believe those who were contesting for it, and now those who is headed, the person who is headed to become the chairman, has had experience. We've always known him as a labor union leader, as a governor. We hope that he'll be able to deploy that, and he will get the necessary support from the party, either leadership and the followership, to deliver on this onerous task of uniting the party. Because at the end of the day, if there's one string that has pulled all of us together, is the integrity and the charismatic leadership of the president. Once we get out of 2019, hopefully we win an election, so going through to 2023, the president is not going to be on the ballot in 2023. The leadership of the party and the ability to unite the party will ensure this platform survives, and that is what we hope for.
Dr. Mwilage, I think given your background in the CPC, it's safe to say you've been a Buharist for a pretty long time. Can you give a sense of how do you assess the president's kind of management of the internal kind of wranglings that have occurred within your party in recent times?
Thank you. I think the president has done very well. Mr. President, there is nothing he wants to know about this country and about party administration that he does not know. He's been around for a while, and you know, from opposition to the ruling party. And so when the president looks at the situation, he takes his time to actually dissect it, look at the issues, analyze them, and come to solutions. And so far, we've seen a president that is ready to put things together and manage the crisis. And that is the reason he insists on the fact that there should be democratically elected convention. That is pursuing. That is a sign of leadership. That is taking leadership. That is giving leadership to the party. And so this is not to say, like the UT member was saying, this is not to say that the president is not happy with those who are leaving. But, you know, the other thing that is permanent in the world is change. And new hands, new brooms will sweep better than old brooms. And we were suggesting, as the people, that it would have been proper that the president gets all these, the former executives, thank them, and just bid them farewell.
I'm sorry, we have to take a very short break. You will continue your thought when we come back. Viewers, please do stay with us.